Hi, and welcome to video number 4 on how to deal with online leads. Today we're going to cover the most important video that we've had so far, which is how to do a great welcome calls. And throughout this videos, you're going to understand what are the do's and don'ts during a welcome call. As we've mentioned in our second videos, an online lead does not have the trust in you as they would have if they were a lead from a referrals from one of your listing. You're not yet the real estate authority for them. They're basically just getting to know you for the very first time, and this is your opportunity to actually show that you're going to be able to fix their problem. The goals during this first welcome call is twofold. The first one is to build the trust, and the second one is to go and meet the client. Those are absolutely essential. There is no way you're going to be able to close an online lead without actually building this trust and meeting the client. Those people need to recognize you for being the solution to their problem. So we're going to start over what not to do. Over the period of the last 4 years, we've had thousands and thousands of calls. We record those calls for training purposes, and this is one of those training. And over the don'ts, I'm going to give you some of the most common mistakes that people do. And I'm going to try to give the reason why those are mistakes. So the first thing that people tend to do is that they jump on a call with a client and they immediately badger them with questions. They ask them, are you already pre-qualified? What is your budget? What is your credit score? What is the income that you're making? All of those things will of course become a requirement to do in order to make a purchase, and will of course become questions that are very important to ask. But this is not the time to ask. You do not have the trust of the client yet, and currently they are not inclined to give you all this information, and this will make for a very poor call because you're basically just badgering them without working towards solving their problem. This is a very common mistake because people has been teaching you that those are important questions, and they are. By any means, they are important questions. However, this is not the first impression you want to give. The second most common mistake is that the agent can sound disengaged into the conversation. When you sound disengaged in the conversation, remember, that person doesn't know you yet, doesn't have the trust. And if you sound disengaged, they will not trust you to be able to solve their problem, to find the perfect property for them. So being engaged in the conversation is absolutely key. Being disengaged will lead the client that as soon as you hang up to go and look for a different agent. Because they're directly in front of a computer, they have access to thousands of websites, to thousands of agents, and if you do not make a good impression, or if you don't seem interested into solving their problem, they can, within a few clicks, find somebody else. This is the second most common mistake that people do. The third one is immediately starting to look for, send me the information, send me your credit score by email, send me your pay stubs. All of those things are, of course, again, things that are very important to do. However, we live in an age where trust and security and privacy is becoming more and more of an issue. And since they do not have the trust yet, and they didn't have an inkling that you're actually going to be able to solve their problem, this is actually not doing a great favor for yourself. And I do understand that you're trying to optimize your time, and you want to make sure that the client is will be able to make the purchase. I completely understand this. However, by scaring away all of the people that will not be able to make a purchase, you're also scaring away the people who could make a purchase, who will do a purchase, and who will end up doing it with somebody else. So this is very, very important. You currently do not have the trust of the client. Right now is the time to build the trust, not to badger the client. Now that we've gone over some of the most common don'ts, we have to go over the do's, because this is very, very important. As I've mentioned earlier, the goal of a good welcome call is to build a trust and to meet the client. And this starts first and foremost that when you jump on the call, you need to introduce yourself with your first name, your last name, and for which company you work with. This is a very easy tool to establish yourself as a professional and establish yourself as a real estate authority. You work for a company in real estate, one that they can relate to because they've already seen it when they've made their first click on the website. The second thing is that if you've gathered any information, whether it is just their budget, if they're looking to buy, whether they're looking to rent, if you know the localization, or if you know more, it is important to show that you know about the client, that you've already taken an interest in them. This is a great way to start a conversation. For example, if you know that the client is looking to buy a property 55 plus in Aventura, just introduce yourself. Hi, my name is Olivier Grinda from Home 61. It's a pleasure to meet you. I see that you're looking to purchase a property in Aventura, 55 and over. This is absolutely great. I have a lot of experience with those kind of properties. By those simple sentences, you've already shown that you're a professional and that you already have an interest in the client. The other thing is that since you do not have the trust yet, you need to build that trust. And you build that trust by being engaged and by sharing personal information about yourself, or trying to connect with the client on a deeper way. If they have a dog and you like dogs, fantastic, mention this. If they have an interest that you share, do it. You don't have to fake it, because if you fake it, people will see it right away. But if you do have a connection, absolutely take advantage of that connection. This is a great time to show that you're not just a name and a number to them, you're actually a real person that they will be able to relate properly to. And now we will go to the most important question that you must ask every single client. And this is actually relevant for the first time you meet a client on the phone, but even if it's a different kind of client, a referral, or a lead from one of your listings, or from a different source, you must ask them why. Why are they looking to purchase a property in Aventura? Why are they trying to rent a property in the next 2 weeks? By simply asking them why are they looking to buy or to rent, you will finally understand their problem. This simple question is the best qualifier that you will ever be able to ask. As soon as you ask why, the client will feel engaged and will share a lot of information that you would have never been able to guess. Instead of going through a long list of qualifying questions, simply trying to understand why are they trying to purchase, why are they trying to sell, they will share more information that you could ever dream of. And on top of that, sharing this personal information has a key advantage that they now are emotionally engaged with you. Understanding their problem is absolutely key to transforming you into the solution to their problem. For example, if a client needs to purchase within the next 30 days because their family is coming from a different country to move in with them, well then you can actually say, well, we have to move fast, not because I'm trying to make a commission, not because I have better things to do, which would be terrible. You can actually tell them, we need to move fast because our closing period, 30 days, is the bare minimum. That's assuming there is no extension or anything. So you can now say, well, since you are trying to accomplish this goal, since your problem is that you have a time pressure, then we must do this. You're moving towards being the solution to their problem. And that's absolutely key. I cannot stress enough how asking for the why is absolutely key. This is true in any type of sales, but it's particularly true in real estate. Last but not least, I'm going to talk about pushing to go and meet the client as soon as possible. Remember, those clients have a problem. They need to buy, they need to rent. They're currently in front of a website that gives them access to lots and lots of real estate agents, lots and lots of properties. And NAR has shown that the clients will close at 82% of the time with the first agent that they meet. So meeting the client right away is absolutely key. If you have a client who's looking to go and visit properties on weekend and it's currently Monday, insist on meeting them before. You might say, oh, but it's a waste of time. Well, what's going to happen is that between Monday and Saturday, so you're still going to be looking for properties. So you're still going to be worried about the problem. So you still are not sure if you're going to be able to solve that problem on Saturday. And they're going to start making more and more requests. They're going to start talking to more and more people. So meeting the client is absolutely essential. By meeting the client, you can offer them to do several things. Of course, the easiest one is to go to the showings the very next day, hopefully the showings the very same day, and during that meeting, you can actually now put a face to the name and actually build an even deeper trust. However, if this is not a possibility, of course, send recommendations to the client. Of course, follow up with them throughout the days between right now and the showing, but offer to meet them. Go to where they are. Offer to review together the properties that you've sent them. Offer to be flexible and be able to go and meet them. By showing that you're willing to go above and beyond for them, by offering to meet them, and by actually finally putting a face to the name, you're going to be able to build a deeper trust that any other agents will do. And if you're the first ones there, odds are you're going to close that client. So these are the do's and don'ts of a great welcome call. We're going to do another section afterwards over another issue that you might have, which is how to take the lead on a good welcome call. So thank you very much for this time. I hope you've enjoyed the training, and happy closings.